This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you for stopping by today, Tuesday, September 19th, 2017, on this rainy day here in New York City. So what better way to spend my day than to give you guys some extra today, some off the script for you. We're going to go over some stories that broke this morning, and we're going to go over all that stuff today right here on Off the Script Extra. I want to thank everybody for showing up to my Monday Night Raw review last night. If you missed it, an hour long going over the go-home show for Monday Night Raw, if you want to call it that. It was a sleep fest last night, so I don't know what you guys were doing during Monday Night Raw. Most of you actually picked up the remote control or picked up a controller for your PS4 to play Destiny, but most of everybody went over to ESPN to watch the Monday Night Football game, which I believe was the Lions and the Giants. So Monday Night Raw was a complete disaster last night. Very, very boring as we approach No Mercy on Sunday. This coming Sunday is No Mercy. I will be reviewing it as always. Friday, we're going to do our preview and predictions for No Mercy on Off the Script, episode 188. But if you guys missed all my thoughts on the Go Home show, link will be within this video to the annotation, so you guys can go check out that video that I uploaded last night, Monday Night Raw review for the Go Home show of No Mercy. Speaking of Off the Script, if you guys missed 30 minutes of Off the Script yesterday, the beginning of Off the Script, 30 minutes I talk about how important Bobby Heenan was to me in my childhood. Off the Script, episode 187, part number 3, was uploaded Monday afternoon. So if you guys missed that and the day's news, make sure you guys go and check that out as well. I got more news on Bobby Heenan in today's video, as well as news on WhatCulture disbanding, breaking news in the YWC, and I got a major match being rumored right now, but probably not going to happen due to one of the participants being signed elsewhere. But a rumor going around right now that's being really facilitated by the internet for Starrcade, which WWE announced this past weekend as a live event in Greensboro, North Carolina. Brandy Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' wife, has a major issue with WWE bringing back Starrcade. We're going to go over all that today right here on Off the Script Extra. I want to thank the fine people over at Audible for sponsoring today's show. All new listeners, if you are a new subscriber to this channel, Audible is going to give you guys 1 month for free for their service, including 1 free audiobook. What do you got to do? You just got to listen to me and use our link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys enjoy the content and you want to support by doing absolutely nothing but listening to the video, use our link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Go through the sign-up process. You got 30 days free, and you're going to get 1 free audiobook just for signing up, man. So thank you guys so much for all of that. Thank you for showing love to the fine people over at Audible, and thank you guys for listening to Off the Script today on a rainy Tuesday afternoon right before SmackDown Live. Let's get right into the news, man. I want to start off with this WhatCulture story because everybody that I know listens to WhatCulture. Some of you probably listen to WhatCulture. Some of you enjoy Adam Blampied and Adam Pacitti and Jack the Jobber and King Ross and Simon, Simon with his fucking baseball signals before he gets into a ups and downs video. But it's with sadness that we found out today that WhatCulture and all of its top personalities are leaving at the end of September. And WhatCulture issued a statement today, Tuesday, September 19th, 2017. It is with great sadness that we must today announce that Adam Blampied, Adam Pacitti, Ross Tweedle, Sam Driver, and Jack King will be leaving WhatCulture in the coming weeks to pursue other projects. I don't know what those other projects are. They might start their own channel, and they're going to take a large chunk of WhatCulture's audience on YouTube with them, because those guys pretty much made up what was so special about WhatCulture Wrestling on YouTube.com. WhatCulture says and continues, we'd like to thank them for their work over the past 2 years, and we wish them the best in all their future endeavors. While we understand this news will disappoint a section of our audience, we'll be using this opportunity to diversify and expand the product as a whole. We'll be introducing brand new shows, brand new personalities, and freshening up existing elements of all of our channels. We look forward to sharing more announcements on this in the coming weeks. So it looks like there is a top spot for the number 1 entity in the YWC. Might I throw my name in the hat? Probably not. I'm not big enough. I'm not even there yet. I'm not even close, man. But all joking aside, I want to wish both Adams, Blampied, and Pacitti, King Ross, Sam Driver, and Jack King, Jack the Jobber. I want to wish them, the best of luck in whatever they do. I was an avid watcher of WhatCulture, especially when Adam Blampied did his how would I book a certain scenario, or how WWE should book this or book that. I always enjoyed their top 10s by finding out different facts that I didn't know about a certain pay-per-view. During SummerSlam, during the lead up to SummerSlam, Adam did an entire series of going through all the SummerSlams and giving you guys, news and information on those shows that half of the people watching probably didn't even know. Fun facts about those SummerSlams leading up to SummerSlam and what made those SummerSlams so special. But I wish them the best, and I don't know why they're leaving. I know the landscape on YouTube is very difficult right now when it comes to wrestling content. WhatCulture is probably not making anywhere near the amount of money that they were making before the adpocalypse on YouTube. I don't know what's going to happen to WhatCulture Wrestling. I know that Adam Blampied was the GM. He was excused from his duties on WhatCulture Television. I don't watch WhatCulture Pro Wrestling, but I heard and seen the news that he was no longer the GM. I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know if they're going to be associated with that. I have no idea. We just don't know yet. But I'm sure these guys will collectively come up with something, and they will be just as successful on their own, just like they were with WhatCulture. Now, Liam Lambert, he is a writer for WhatCulture. He went on a scathing rant today. And I don't know if this is a look inside what possibly happened for the departure of all these people. But Liam on Twitter goes on to say, and I quote, "Now it seems like a good time as any to explain a little bit about WhatCulture boss Matt Holmes is like as a person. Matt Holmes is a liar. He is a snake. In wrestling terms, he is Kevin Owens without the charisma, Randy Orton without the athleticism. I was hired by him under false pretenses as a magazine writer. Was never allowed near their magazine. Instead, I was made to pump out generic list articles every day with next to no editorial guidance or help. He would regularly reject articles for being overdone, only to then give other writers the same article I had pitched. Despite being spectacularly binned by Holmes after a few months working for WhatCulture, they're still using my articles for videos despite me not being creative enough to keep my job. Whenever I tried to address these problems with Holmes, he either ignored me or put it down to working from home. He would often ignore me for days, then had the gall to criticize my communication skills. In the end, he didn't even have the balls to fire me, instead asking if I wanted to call it a day. I don't know the situation with the Adams, etc., but I don't doubt Matt Holmes had something to do with it. Their departure as, he doesn't know if they had if Matt Holmes had something to do with their departure. I'm sorry. As another former WhatCulture employee put it in this scathing review, and then he linked it on Glassdoor, glassdoor.com.uk, what it's like to WhatCulture. If you can survive WhatCulture, you'll thrive anywhere else. That is what they will do, because WhatCulture was built on Blampied and Jax, not snakes like Matt. Matt Holmes' conduct made me severely depressed because he has convinced me I wasn't cut out to do the job. I had poured everything into learning for the past 5 years. He made my dream a nightmare simply because he didn't give a shit about his employees. Just scan any Glassdoor review of the past year for a peek into Matt Holmes' sad little life. The man hides away with no social media presence, no Skype photo, etc., and won't even grace you with a phone call or face-to-face meeting. He does so while expecting the likes of Pacitti and everybody else to hold very public personas and get flack from fans when he should be the one dealing with complaints from the public. I could go on forever about this pathetic sub-Mr. McMahon of a boss, but I won't. But I will say, do not work for WhatCulture. Not because of you or any of the other fine staff, but because Matt Holmes is a joke. So that was the shoot promo from Liam Lambert, who I'm assuming is not with WhatCulture anymore, but he had some choice words to say for Matt Holmes, the man behind WhatCulture, or the boss of the WhatCulture enterprise. So take that as you may. I'm sure Adam and Blampied and Pacitti and everybody else involved is going to find much success elsewhere doing this wrestling thing on YouTube. We will find out what's going on. As soon as we hear anything, I will let you guys know. I'll be on board with whatever they do. I support their decision. I support them as content creators. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they got planned for the future. And hopefully this brings all of us in the YWC a little bit closer, man. So good luck to everybody that has left or is planning to leave WhatCulture. Guys, thank you for all your hard work over there, and I will be on board with whatever you do going on into the future. We got news on Bobby Heenan, and Bobby Heenan's cause of death has been revealed. Obviously, as you guys know, the wrestling world lost a legend on Sunday night as Bobby the Brain Heenan passed away. Heenan is considered one of the greatest managers and commentators in the history of this business. His death has said in the wrestling world, and we saw multiple tributes on social media from wrestlers of past and present with a beautiful video package done on Monday Night Raw. Now that the dust has settled, we have some information on his passing. According to his obituary from the Tampa Bay Times, he passed away from organ failure brought on from the throat cancer that plagued him since 2002. And it's quoted saying Heenan was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2002 and has been in remission since 2004, said his daughter Jessica Salt. But he died from organ failures brought on by the disease. Heenan has battled throat cancer and various other health issues over the past few years. So if you guys missed the tribute, Monday Night Raw did last night, you guys can watch it on WWE.com and on their YouTube channel. But Bobby the Brain Heenan, again, I hope you rest easy, bro. And you're back with the greats, man. Just imagine that round table up there, man. You got Ultimate Warrior, Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby the Brain Heenan, man, Roddy Piper. That's an all-star panel right there. Holy shit. So obviously the Brain will be missed, but like I said in my off-the-script video yesterday, Bobby the Brain Heenan's legacy will live on literally forever, and he will be an influence for all future commentators and managers that want to step into this business. He was that influential, and he will never be forgotten. When I have children, Bobby the Brain Heenan will be brought into their wrestling lives because he is literally the greatest at what he did, and nobody will ever even hold a candle to what Bobby the Brain Heenan did. There will never, ever, 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 ever be another Bobby the Brain Heenan. I want to go over this Starrcade issue, man. WWE has brought back Starrcade, and this is seemingly causing a rift between people. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm on the side that just doesn't like it. Now, we have news on a possible match, and I stress that word greatly, possible match between the Rhodes and the Hardys at Starrcade. Yes, Dustin Rhodes, a.k.a. Goldust, and Cody Rhodes versus the Hardys at Starrcade. The pressure is on Cody Rhodes now. He is pressured, seemingly, to respond to these tweets that was sent out by Michael P.S. Hayes. Goldust and Matt Hardy even chimed in. Now, yesterday, I reported on Off the Script that Starrcade was coming back as a live event on November 25th in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's going to be headlined by 2 steel cage matches. I believe it's going to be Charlotte and Natalya for the Women's Championship, and then Nakamura and Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship, barring any outcome from Hell in a Cell. Now, Brandy Rhodes is not happy about this whatsoever. She's not happy about this at all. She was not happy about WWE's idea to resurrect Starrcade in November without crediting Dusty Rhodes for coming up with the name. Cody Rhodes then suggested that WWE at least include Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, on the show, even though it's not a SmackDown branded show. Michael Hayes suggested for Cody to team with his brother Goldust at this event, and it looks like Goldust is on board with the idea. You can go check his tweet and then scroll down a little to find the interaction and a follow-up tweet from Matt Hardy. The Hardys are already booked for the show since they are from Greensboro, North Carolina, or North Carolina. They're from Cameron, North Carolina, but they'll be in their home state regardless. They are from the area, so it would make the most sense that they are on the show and WWE find opponents for them suitable to make this show special. That's where the Rhodes brothers come in. It would be very interesting to see if Cody Rhodes takes them up on the offer. If a deal can be worked out, then it would be the first time that, assuming he does not lose the title before then, that a current Ring of Honor World Champion will be allowed to work a WWE show. The Starrcade show has gotten a ton of promotion on WWE social media accounts, on their website as well, so it would not shock anybody if the plan is to air the show as a special on the WWE Network. Now, if you guys don't know Starrcade from 1983 to 1987 was produced by Jim Crockett Promotions. It was a dominant promotion of the NWA, and it aired on Thanksgiving Day. In 1987, WWF scheduled their Survivor Series to take place on Thanksgiving night, and WWF at the time demanded exclusivity from cable providers to carry that event only and not Starrcade. So, in order to prevent such a problem, Starrcade was then moved to December the following year, and the show was held around Christmas Day, more notably after Christmas Day, and mostly in the days following Christmas, beginning in 1988. So, Starrcade ended up being WCW's biggest event of the year. It was their WrestleMania, okay? So, WCW had Starrcade, WWE had WrestleMania, so they went hand in hand. They were the company's biggest, events of their calendar year. Now, as far as what Brandy Rhodes stated, I don't know why anybody gets involved with Twitter trolls online, because all they do is just cause problems, and they try and get one up on the more popular figure on social media because they have no life. But Cody Rhodes tweeted out, "Dear Michael Hayes, if you're afraid an event won't sell because the holiday and want one of my dad's events, at least book Goldie." That's exactly what he stated. So Brandy Rhodes then stated on Twitter, "Starrcade was created and delivered by Dusty Rhodes. WWE didn't want to do it while he was there. Now they want to do it and not give him any credit." So some troll on Twitter replied to Brandy Rhodes and said, "WWE owns everything WCW. They don't have to ask for permission." So Brandy then replied back, "Did I say anything about asking for permission? No, I didn't. I said they aren't crediting him. That's where the problem lies." So it is unclear right now if the WWE will use this as a network special. Most people are assuming they will, and we just don't know yet. My take on this is if WWE really wanted to rebrand their pay-per-view calendar, Starrcade should be on their pay-per-view calendar. It should be a multi-branded pay-per-view. That's the way I would do it. I would bring back the legacy that is Starrcade, and I think the only reason why WWE wouldn't do that is because, it's not their concept. They don't want to make it as big as anything that they have on their pay-per-view calendar that's originally a WWE concept. They don't want to have this WCW thing be bigger than one of their own exclusive pay-per-views, which is ridiculous. Who cares? You own the rights to it. WCW's dead, never to return. So I don't understand why you won't take the legacy of that and just do what is right and put it on the pay-per-view calendar instead of being a live event. If this is not airing on the network, why is this even a branded show? Why is this show given a specific name? I don't understand it. And this is what we discussed yesterday. It doesn't make any sense to me. Monday Night Raw can't even sell out arenas every Monday night. Their house shows are struggling every single week. You think because you're going to brand a house show as Starrcade, it's going to get more people to come out to the event? I don't think so. If Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, with the return of Vince McMahon and 3 championship matches on last Tuesday's show, did not sell out, plus you had a Mae Young Classic final, if that didn't sell out, you're expecting this show to sell out? I don't think so. WWE should be in the mode to fix what is very much broken, and that is their pay-per-view calendar. Their pay-per-view calendar should be revamped. Get rid of these branded gimmick pay-per-views. Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank. Get rid of TLC. Give me Halloween Havoc, Bash at the Beach. Bring back King of the Ring. Shit like that. Starrcade. I don't understand why WWE wants to brand this house show with a name as if it's going to make any difference. It's not. I can only hope that WWE is going to give us a live network special. That I would be okay with. But still, even if we do get a live network special, I think the ultimate goal here is to make Starrcade and these other WCW branded pay-per-views that they're interested in bringing back pay-per-views. Instead of Hell in a Cell in October, I want Halloween Havoc. Instead of Battleground, right? I want Bash at the Beach. Something along those lines, So we'll see what happens with the others, but WWE right now has gotten very mixed reactions with Starrcade being brought back as a house show on November 25th. So we'll find out what's going on with that. If I hear anything as it concerns Cody Rhodes coming back, which I don't think he will, unless a deal is really struck between WWE and Ring of Honor. I think Cody Rhodes has signed or is signed with Ring of Honor. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me, because I do believe Cody is signed. So I don't know what's going on with that. I would love to see that match, as I'm sure many of you would love to see that match. I think that would be a fantastic match, man. That's a dream match of sorts. The Rhodes brothers versus the Hardys. I mean, you could build that entire show. If you're going to do a network special, I think everybody would tune in for that, man. Plus, you got 2 steel cage matches. You got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on the card. New Day versus the Usos for the Tag Team Championships. They've been giving us some great matches, some fun matches. Why not? Let's do it. At least make it a network special. And then we'll see if Cody Rhodes comes on board and gives us that dream match that everybody now is interested in seeing. The Rhodes brothers versus the Hardys. So we'll see what happens with that. Finally, guys, I want to go over this last story here. There are rumors of Paige making her WWE return. And I think Paige right now is needed more than ever on Monday Night Raw. She could add a nice shot of adrenaline to Monday Night Raw. Now, Paige posted a photo on social media on Monday from the Performance Center. She wrote, and I quote, "Went to see an old friend today. Good to be back there," end quote. This was clearly an indication that WWE fans will be seeing Paige back in the ring very, very soon. There was an article on WWE's website that confirmed Paige was training for her return. It also gave us an interesting note about what will happen when Paige does return. Paige was drafted to Raw in 2016 in the WWE draft. She has yet to be used on Raw since the draft, as she's been making her way back from neck surgery. Many fans have penciled in Paige to the Raw Women's Division when she does return. Now, the article from WWE's website gives us an interesting hint that her going to Raw isn't a foregone conclusion, and I quote, "If her return is imminent, as this post is leading many in the WWE Universe to believe, consider the women of Raw and SmackDown Live officially put on notice. Since Paige hasn't been used on Raw since the draft, they could really switch her over to SmackDown Live if they wanted to. With Asuka being announced for Raw, maybe Paige will be heading to the Blue brand. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see what happens, but certainly something to keep your eye on over the next few weeks as it concerns Paige. I would actually bring her back to Monday Night Raw. I do. I think that's the best decision. I think that would be the best. They got 3 hours over there. I would bring Paige to Monday Night Raw. You got Asuka over there. That's a pretty solid division if you ask me. You add another 1 or 2 women along the rest of the year, and you guys got what I've been hoping for, a division. Because a division doesn't exist with 4 women, 5 women. No, I'm sorry. Even if you look at the division, if you add, you got Asuka, you got Sasha, you got Bayley, you got Emma, Alexa, then you're going to add Paige and Nia. That's 7 right there. So if you add another one from NXT, you could really do some damage, and you could really call that a division. Because right now, 4 or 5 women that you're using on television doesn't constitute it as a division. I don't want all the women at all times, every single week, to be in title contention. It should be 1 number 1 contender and 1 champion going at it. And when you're done, you move on to something else. And everybody else should be jockeying for position. Same thing with SmackDown Live. If Paige is going to Raw, and with the influx of talent coming in from the Mae Young Classic, WWE can easily move up an Ember Moon. WWE can easily move up an iconic duo in Billie Kay and Peyton Royce to SmackDown Live. More so them than Ember Moon. I think Ember Moon and Kairi Sane are going to be headed for a one-on-one showdown eventually. I'd love to see that. But that's where I'm going with that. I think Paige fits on Monday Night Raw. I think with all the attention that she's got over the past year, I think her and the excitement of seeing her back and just being in the midst of Monday Night Raw Women's Division again, being that it's much different now than it was then, I think that's going to be really good for Paige. Get her away from the total divas nonsense. Put her on Monday Night Raw. Give me back the anti-diva, the rebel. And I hope Paige just embraces this and puts all this nonsense behind her. All the stuff with Del Rio, Del Retard, and all these, immature acts that she's been going on and on and on about all year. Get back to what is most important. That is building your brand, building credibility, getting back on Monday Night Raw, and showing why everybody fell in love with you the first time coming up from NXT. I think Paige going to Monday Night Raw and then Billie Kay and Peyton Royce coming up to SmackDown Live, I think, is the best way to do things right now for both Raw and SmackDown's women's divisions. That is Off the Script Extra today, guys. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for joining me for a little bit today on Tuesday, right before SmackDown Live. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. If you guys want to pledge towards the Patreon page, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below for more great WWE content, news and rumors, video game content all week long, man. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys tonight for SmackDown Live. What's going to happen with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon? We'll find out tonight. We'll talk about it, man. I'm JD, and I'll see you guys for the review of SmackDown Live.